Okay, hello everyone, and welcome.
Talking about anything.
Talking about anything and everything, trying to rein this
Yeah.
group in over here.
God.
Hello and welcome to Emily Does Homework Night.
Look, I'm always studying. It's better than doing work on stream.
Oh,
Oh,
one
we
sec,
have
one
an
sec.
echo.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's weird. Okay. Is it better
Sound
now?
check.
Is it better now?
Sound check. 1, 2, 3. Is it better now,
Oh,
chat?
I know what it is. Just 1 minute. Oh, good. No, that's great. For some reason, our caption Discord is going out to the default. So that's why we're getting echo right now. Just give me a sec so I can get our
Well,
captions up and running.
chat said it's good at the moment.
Yeah. It's because I muted the other track. You keep going. I'll be done in a second.
Is Tink
Yeah,
in the
Tink
timeout corner? Tink is in the
Yes,
timeout
Tink's
corner.
in the timeout corner. Yes. I'm glad you noticed.
As you have noticed the conspicuous gap between Tink and the rest of the party, the lovely Doogs is a little tied up at the moment and may be joining us later, but also we understand if she's not. So we've just timed out Tink. Tink is just going to be grumpy in the corner while we send Doogs all the well wishes.
Exactly. Okay.
But yeah, we all good?
Yep, and captions should be up and running for anyone who uses them.
They are. I see them. I'm wiggling excitedly, which obviously you guys at home can't see.
I could hear
But my
it.
cat can, and that's what happened. Oh.
I could feel it.
Should we start? Should we do an intro?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll do an
Please
intro.
start.
Hello! Welcome to Hellions of Carnocht. It's Monday night. That means disaster teens. We are here to fuck shit up and find out in the process. I am your DM, Jess Taylor, also known as Doodle all over the internet. I am a comic artist and maybe soon to be comic writer.
Yes.
Maybe I'm pitching some things, so keep your fingers crossed for me. But I am joined by our lovely cast. If Emily would like to begin. We've
Hi,
changed the
I'm
order this week,
Emily.
so that's weird.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, I am Emily Pearson. I am a comic book and concept artist. My Twitter link is below my name, Zanthe. You can find it's Twitter and Instagram if you would like to check either of those. Playing Xanth, he is our changeling warlock sorcerer. And we're doing fun facts today on what we were like as kids, right?
Yes, what our characters were like
Yes.
as kids. Not us
I don't know why you guys
personally.
put me first. I'm like the least put together. I can't even talk.
I did
Oh
it
my
It's
because
because
God.
you get
fun.
us off into the right frame of mind for this show.
I'm in fucking study mode. So Xanth as a kid, I think he was very kind of actually quiet for the most part. A little quiet, a little like uh just reserved into himself. I think maybe getting out into school or getting out of his house, he's kind of an asshole. um and he has a lot of pent up emotion. So Ned is your turn.
Oh,
You
okay.
good.
I didn't know if you had anything else to add.
No, I
Hello,
just didn't stop it easily.
hello. I'm Ned. You can find me on the internet as at the Ned Barnett. I'm a comic book writer and artist. My next story is coming out in the anthology Young Men in Love. It is an anthology about uh, men who love men. As you can tell by the title. So that's out in June, and you can pre-order it. It's published by Wave Blue World, and it's gonna be really good. It's about being a trans dude. I play Monty, who is our resident half-elf fighter rogue. And what Monty was like as a kid is not what he's like as a slightly older kid. He was a very sweet and kind and like adorable child who loved animals and would constantly be following his older brother Sammy around, and he absolutely idolized Sammy. And then when Sammy didn't come back home after graduating from school, that's when Monty got really grumpy and angry. Yeah, so that's Monty.
Oh, it's me, isn't it?
I was gonna
That's
say,
you.
in a plot twist, it is now
It's-
you.
It's like we practiced this. It's great.
Do we? Oh. Hi, I'm Danny. I am. You can find me on Twitter at Bison Lane. I'm a freelance illustrator. I am playing Yenna, gnome-shaped tiefling, who is a graviturgy wizard and a problem. As a kid, what was she like? She actually probably was like a golden child kind of kid, but that's like also a problem because she is the way she is because she's like, I've never done anything wrong in my life. Mommy and daddy told me so. So, yeah, she was probably actually not like mean, but definitely thought she was like God's gift to everyone else.
That sounds about
That's
right.
good to us.
I guess over here in the corner. Hello, I'm Nick. I'm playing Tink. He is a high elf artificer who's never done anything wrong in his entire life. And I am a tattoo artist, I guess, is my job title that we have been
Yes,
sharing.
you're a tattoo artist. Tattoo
Who
artist.
owns-
I can't
Yeah.
talk.
Who owns a store in Toronto that
Yeah.
has just reopened called So Far So Good.
Yeah, so far so good tattoo. Check us out.
And it's painted in the trans flag colors.
It is. We really went into Benjamin Moore and we were like, trans rights. And yeah, what Tink was like as a kid was a lot like he is now, but without the attitude. He was a very nice boy, who I think has consistently been a disappointment.
Aw.
As the person playing Tink's family can confirm.
Yeah. So yeah, he was a very nice boy, always into like creative pursuits as much as, you know, tinkering with things as a creative pursuit. And his family isn't really much for you know, creativity and the arts or making things. They're more about like money. So there's that. Oh, don't cry for him. And are we doing announcements?
Yeah. Do any of us have announcements other than, like, as we said, Ned's book is coming out soon in June?
Yeah. I am currently having a clearance sale. It all red tag, everything must go on my online store. So I just posted a link to that in chat if you guys want to check it out. Everything's super cheap. It's like I'm selling some things at a loss. I'm very legitimately, I just want things out so I can buy new things. So if you see anything in there that looks suspiciously cheap, it is not coming back, and I would definitely recommend grabbing it now because I'm only going to keep this up for the rest of the month.
Yep.
Before I refresh the whole dang thing. So yeah, check that out if you're into pins and prints and, well, the prints are almost gone, and like stickers and stuff. Hey.
Anybody else have announcements? Danny, do you have commissions open still?
I do, but I've actually gotten so many in the last like week that I actually am not going to advertise for a minute because I have to finish the ones I've got.
Okay, ignore that. Ignore that. Danny doesn't have commissions open. I'm a liar.
I mean,
Emily?
you could Get on a waiting list for Danny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
could go on a commission waiting list.
there are technically still slots available. They will just be maybe more than 2 weeks out at this point because I have like 7 in queue right now, and it's a lot. I don't usually get full color requests, and I did, so I was like, oh shit, I have to draw.
A good problem to have.
Yes, it's a very good problem. People have been very generous.
Emily, do you have any announcements?
I love my friends.
That's
Aww.
very important.
That's a
Thank
pretty
you.
great announcement. Thank you. We appreciate it. Assuming we are your friends, I could be your enemy.
What do you? Come on. You could kill me and I would still love you. I mean, Zanthe, not me, but like.
Yeah, don't kill Emily, but like Zanthe,
I am
whatever.
so glad that you specified. Thank you. It gives me good boundaries to work within.
Yes, I cross the line at killing me personally.
I feel like that's fair. That's a very fair boundary. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a boundary everyone should have.
Please no kill.
Mhm.
Maybe a little maim as a treat.
No, maybe
No,
no.
no maiming, no maiming.
So we're defining your boundaries further. Wonderful.
And don't you have a book coming out?
I do. I just tried to send the file for the cover over so that we could maybe flash it up on screen, but Discord decided to kill the colors. So that's
Oh.
fun.
The colors do look normal on my computer. But give me a...
Is that Oh no, they do when you open the actual thing. Okay, all right. Yeah, I have a book coming out in May, on May 17th to be exactly precise. Precise.
Mhm.
Yeah. Which is called Galaxy the Prettiest Star, and it's up for pre-order right now through DC Comics. It is sold wherever books are sold. I thought it was wherever comics are sold, but it's wherever books are sold. You can find it anywhere that you can find a book, I state boldly.
Mm.
Um, but it is an awesome sci-fi adventure about a intergalactic princess who hides on Earth as a human boy, and it's a story about self-discovery, and it's one hell of a hero origin story. I thoroughly recommend it, and if you guys like the sound of it, please go ahead and check it out.
So I will say, I don't think I'm gonna put the image up because the colors got stupid again when I put it in OBS.
Yay!
But it is very beautiful.
Also, into
And
your
if you have
profile, right? Like on Twitter, so you could just go
Yeah.
look at Justin's Twitter.
Yeah.
If you go look at my Twitter, I've got stuff there, including cute corgi comics from said comic, because there is a very cute corgi in it.
I was gonna say Jess draws the best corgis. So
Oh my god,
They are very
yeah.
they're so floofy and they
So
got floofy butts and they're
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, they do.
And that is why we're trying to that's
Cheese
why we
pack.
have cheese. So
Cheese is out here
You just
somewhere in the world. We gotta
need
find
to know is that they're just corgis in everything I touch, apparently. Um, a couple of reminders before we step straight into game. This is a stream in which we practice viewer safety. We have our own safety guidelines, but for you guys at home, if anything happens during the stream that you need to take a step away from, please feel free to. Do not feel obligated to sit and stay watching a scene that makes you actively uncomfortable. We would much rather that you step away, take a break, and do what you need to do. We do have a Discord where you can give us feedback about that sort of thing, and maybe talk to other people about said scene if you need to. Speaking of which, we have a Discord that you can go and jump into if you want to discuss anything at all, and we're pretty active in there, so that's good. I'm really off my game tonight. We're all off our game. This is what happens when we're missing someone.
Yeah.
Everything goes to heck.
Everything goes to heck.
everything goes to
But-
Hellions.
Oh,
Oh.
That's why you're called Hellions. I
You
knew you for
can't
5 minutes and was like, oh god.
You know it's for more than
you
5
knew
minutes.
us for 5 sessions, let's be real.
Yeah.
Okay, so shall we dive right in? Is everybody ready?
I
Yes.
think so.
I want to cry.
Awesome. Always good to know stepping into the game. All right, last time on Hellions of Carnocht. In his continued attempt to find Monty, Xanth found himself taking a starring role in the Can-Can show Monty had been hiding out in. Tink took Yenna and Yulie across town to an apothecary to gather some supplies, and after the Can-Can show was over and the supplies were gathered, the group reconvened at their hotel, the Marriott, to find a furious Balthazar being detained by security. They cleared up the misunderstanding post haste and returned to the master suite to find Carriel Goldpetal was already there with what was left of Belial's things. The majority of the group decided to follow a tip Xanth had gotten from under a cat's collar and head out to a casino called the Swan in full disguise to gather information. Tink stayed behind in his room to look through Belial's things and found more than he bargained for.
Everything's fine.
Everything is fine and everything is wonderful. So you find yourselves down the hidden road. We had discussed last session, you are outside of this white-walled casino. It's an extravagant place for all that it's on Hidden Road, which, as those of you local to Carnock know, is considered very much the underbelly of the town. It is a place that exists, but the majority of the well-to-do don't talk about it at all. It is a hotbed of gang contracts and elusive meetups and criminals being found in wonderful strange places.
Is it a wretched hive of scum and villainy?
It is a wretched hive of skull and villainy. Yes, it is 100%. It's also absolutely thriving. It's where you can get a cheap drink, you can go to the casino, you can lose your money if you want to. And both the rich, the middle class, and the lower echelons of Karnak end up there and just pretend not to see each other. So there's a little something for everyone. Now, we discussed placements. Xanth, Monty, and Yenna, you were inside,
Mhm.
Yes.
and Balthazar and Yulie were outside.
Yes, that's correct.
Yep.
Given our missing number, Yulie is going to remain outside for the foreseeable future. Balthazar is at your disposal to call upon. You have sending stones, you can contact each other. Shall we pull up the map so that you guys can tell me where you are?
Mm-hmm.
There was a soothsayer that I was hovering around their table. I remember that.
There was,
Oh
yeah.
my god. I love how, like, it's all of our tokens and then it's, like, Yuli's just the mouth open. That's so good.
Do you mind swapping out the maps, Nick? Awesome, awesome. I was just making sure, I'm sorry. Okay, sick. We're at the Swan.
All right.
As I move things over just a little bit. Okay. So, Xanth, Monty, and Yenna, you are inside. Tink is
Yeah.
across town. Yulie is outside. So you walked into this bustling, thriving casino, and the first thing that you were hit with was the wave of sound of the chatter of people just filling the hall, checking in coats, exchanging money for chips. And you saw that there is a multitude of things to dive into. There are games, there's, as you said, Monty, there's a soothsayer over to one side. There's a snail race going on. There is dancing rats somewhere in this place. Where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
I believe Yenna was checking out the snail race. just trying to understand what was happening.
With the snail race, you see it definitely draws in some of the younger crowd just because of its absurdity. But there are several snails with decorated shells that have been painted different colors and have little bobbins and buttons glued to them.
Oh my
One
god.
of them just has like little spikes glued to the shell.
Oh.
Yes! I love it.
There are several names on a little board. The one with like the snail who has the spikes is called the Snailinator.
Oh my god.
Oh, for this. What is the like cutest one?
The cutest one. How are we defining cute?
Like, is there one that is like clearly dolled up to be like has like rhinestones glued to its shell or some
Oh
stupid
god, yeah,
shit like that?
there is
Oh,
one that is just pink glitter.
okay, yeah, that one. I need to know which one that one is because that is now Yenna's favorite snail.
As I refer to my book of snails.
I was gonna say, do you have a name for the snail yet?
Yes, it's called Snooty.
Oh.
Yes.
Specifically Snooty the cutie.
Yes. Oh my god. Yeah. If there if she gets the understanding of like, okay, we can bet on snails, she's gonna throw like 10 gold just to see what happens. On Snooty the cutie.
Okay. The buy-in
Mm-hmm.
to bet on Snooty the cutie, if you would like to,
Mm-hmm.
is 1 gold.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sure.
Sn- Snooty the cutie has 5 to 1 odds.
Okay. Uh do. Haste has components. Just kidding.
Oh my
I
god.
mean, you can attempt to cheat if you want to cheat.
I have not taken meta magics yet, so we won't do that. But we know that that's a thing that will happen someday.
So
No, she'll be
how much gold were you putting down?
10 because she's
10 gold.
stupid.
All right.
Very, very rich.
Yes.
I'm now going to roll
Discrimination.
for the snails. I will now snail roll.
Bless.
It's a neck and neck race. They're all level on the line, and you see, like Snooty the cutie pulls ahead just a little bit, just to be overtaken by the Snailinator at the last second. But both of them are beaten out and pipped at the post by Rasmus One Leg, who, in that last minute, just zooms forward in a slick little bit of slime. You have lost 10 gold.
Yenna
So
is
please mark that down.
yes. I will. Yenna will just be like she is now kind of what is the vibe? Do people like cheer for their snails or is it like just very like whatever? People are just casually watching like
No, the moment Rasmus One Leg goes over that line, there is nothing but screaming from one particular dude at the table who is just like this tiny halfling guy who has like curly hair on top of his head and he's just yelling. He's just like, yes, yes, go on, get it, son.
Well,
oh my fucking god, he's so much. Just like make a face at him and be like, ugh, how uncouth. Ew. Um,
100% sticks his tongue out at you and gives you the middle finger.
oh, absolutely returns. And is just like, oh, well, they gotta win sometimes. New person doesn't know fucking anything, and it's just like, oh, lucky at him, basically. Um, she is then, assuming that things are resetting, will then also drop another like 10 gold on her now favorite.
It takes a moment to reset them. You do see them, instead of picking up the snails by like the shells or anything, because you should
Mm-hmm.
never do that, audience. You should never pick up a snail by the shell. You should just gently scoot them onto their hand.
Huh.
Okay? Okay. Picking them up by the shell can cause mantle death. It's quite bad.
Oh.
How do you
But
know
that fact
this?
of snails over. I consume so many weird random facts. I apologize. That
It's
was
Never
great.
that was your lesson
apologize.
today. Your lesson on
No,
snails.
I'm
Um,
impressed.
I'll take it. They gently scoot the snails back and line them all up and put a little ribbon in front of them that they'll cut the moment that it's ready to go.
Yeah. So yeah, Yenna
And
will do.
you see this like little, she's very young, but for an elf that could mean that she's anywhere from like 10 to 30, but she looks about 10. She looks very young. But
Oh.
she runs up to the side of Snooty the Cutie and glues a few extra pom-poms on.
Oh.
And there's a countdown. And this countdown will go for 10 seconds. You putting another 10 gold down?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like, like at the guy who just won, just like flicking him off, like,
Okay.
like,
In those 10 seconds, would you like to do anything?
oh man. I wish that I was. Sometimes I wish that I was another class, but this is fine. I miss being a bard, an inspiration. As a bard
If
main, it's
you
hard.
if you would like to cheer for your snail,
Absolutely.
you can
I've
give the
also pop.
snail inspiration.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. And character cheering.
Yes,
Ye-
in character cheering.
Oh my god, what would Yenna even say? She's so like not cool. She's just gonna be like, "Yeah, you can do it, Snitty," and just like absolutely the most basic cheer ever. Um, but maybe also gets a little bit closer to the owner because it's like she's adorable. I love her.
I will allow you to roll the inspiration. It is 1d8, and I will roll for the snails.
Okay. It's an 8.
It's very
It's a
strange to see them go neck and neck once again. It seems to be that the moment these snails get to the halfway line is when it really kicks off. And you see that Rasmus One Leg is definitely heading for that leader spot again as they cross the midline. And he's inching along and inching along and inching along. And Snooty is just matching him and matching him and matching. And if a snail could have determination, Snooty has determination. And the little antler thingies go down and just rockets forward, and Snooty wins.
hell yeah.
This little girl beside you just starts yelling and bouncing and giggling, and she scoops up the snail from the finish line and does a little twirl. Meanwhile, the adjudicator of the race is like, Snooty the Cutie, winner, 5-1 odds. Please collect your winnings.
Yenna is like just bouncing like excited little child jumping up and down in one place and just clapping her hands furiously. She's never really done anything like this in her life. Like this is probably the only contest that wasn't like a spelling bee or some stupid shit that she's ever participated in.
Is
So,
she going to collect her winnings?
oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you get a bag of 50 gold,
Hell yeah.
and you see that the girl that you'd been standing next to holds out her hands, and the race adjudicator just puts like 5 gold in her hands.
Oh.
Oh, absolutely not. Yenna will see that and be like, "That's all I get."
Well, yeah, the buy-in for the race is a gold, and we won, so now we get 5.
Oh, oh, oh. Yenna is going to take it 30-20 split, keep 20, give 30 to the girl.
You hand this girl 30 gold, and you just see her eyes get huge. She looks at you as though you hung the sun. And she's just like, "Are, are, are you sure? Is this okay?"
Yeah, it's for Snooty. Snooty did the work, and I doubled my money, so that's more than fair.
You see that she looks at the snail that she's holding, and there's a small tremble to her bottom lip, and then she just starts crying and flings herself at you.
Oh, how okay. Hi. She's taller than me, I assume, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, she is taller than you. She is swooping down to hug you. And like she's being very careful about Snooty and holding Snooty out of the way, but
Oh,
she's just sobbing and she's like, "Thank you so much. You just have to give me anything. Thank you."
okay. She's just like tiny hands off the side. You can't like see her face, and she's just like patting like wherever she can. Like it's okay, it's fine.
You've got to the point that there's hiccups and just no words now, and you are attached to this small elven child.
Okay. Uh, she's just going to be like, guys, trying to call with Zanthe and Monty, being like, okay, I need people I know now. This is a lot.
Are you using the sending stone?
Yeah, assuming that they can't hear me, just regular voice, like probably call the sending stone and be like, I need an
Zanthe,
adult.
Monty, you hear help echo down the sending stone.
You
Uh,
go deal with that.
what? One.
And Monty's just like off to see this. Like he is picking someone's pocket so that he can go to pay the soothsayer.
Can I make a
Okay.
perception check to look for Yenna?
Yes, you can roll a perception check to look for Yenna.
Okay.
Yenna, you can also roll a perception check to look for both of them.
Sure.
Yeah, but
Nope, that's a 2 total.
Well, I mean, your arms are full of small, crying elfin child.
I got 16.
16?
Yeah.
You see that Yenna has been absolutely glommed onto by this angelic looking kid who is just crying absolute tears.
It's gonna take the sending stone. To message Yenna. This is really, this is more of like Tink's thing. I really don't know if you. I think you got it.
Oh, okay. And she's just going to be like, now forcibly trying to remove child.
Make me a dexterity check.
Okay. Wasn't expecting to get grappled. That's pretty good. Dexterity, just straight dex, right?
Yeah, just straight dex.
Dirty 20.
Nice. With a dirty 20, you can definitely extricate yourself from this small girl's arms without like causing too much of an upset for her.
Okay.
You manage to just like peel her away from you, and she just starts just crying over her little snail and her small pile of gold. And she just nods so thankfully and is just like, "I'll always remember you."
Oh, okay. Well, my name's Yenna Mun. And cool. Spend it on Snooty, I guess. And big
I'll
smile.
spend it on Snooty. And she gives you the wateriest smile. Like she's trying to smile, but she's hiccuping in the middle of doing so. And you see this much older elven woman shuffles over and is just like, "I am so sorry," and just grabs her and shuffles her off to the side and is like, "You can't just go around hugging random people that you've never met before." "But they gave me 30 gold." "They gave you how much?" And
What?
there's a look cast to you after they gave you how much?
Oh god, Yenna's just like giant eyes, just like what just happened? I don't understand what that was. And after she kind of like calms down a little, catches her breath, she looks for the guy that like was rude and just does like the smuggest smile at him.
He is devastated, and you see him like he's counting together like coppers and silvers to make up the amount that he's lost.
Ah. Yenna's just gonna be like, oh, what is this? What is this? Not understanding guilt.
Not understanding guilt, always good to know.
Is there any reason for Yenna to know like how much he bet and like now owes reasonably?
You could ask.
I'm gonna roll for this because Yenna's an asshole. I'm not. That's a flat 10. Jesus.
I mean, with a 10, you could go ahead and ask if you wanted to.
Yeah, I was like, kindness check 10. Really in the middle there.
Yep, very in the middle. Gotta make up your mind. Is Jenna
All
gonna
right.
be kind 2 times in one night?
I don't know. He was kind. Yenna is going to be like, how much did you lose? Like, kind of an asshole way.
And you see he just sneers at you and goes, I fucking enough.
Oh, okay. I guess I won't then. Bye.
What?
And then she
And he
just
just kind of
walked
looks at
away.
you as you leave.
Yeah, no. She's just gonna go and leave. And like also like kind of flick off Zanthe, be like, you could have helped me, dick. Um, and she's just kind of milling about now, probably. She's gonna look for the next exciting thing. Uh
Monty, what are you doing?
Yes. I'm picking someone's pocket so I can pay the soothsayer.
Who is this soothsayer?
There's a soothsayer in the corner is telling fortunes. I want to have my fortune told.
Oh
There's
my
my
God.
future seen.
You may all go
I've-
over there if you would like to. The soothsayer is situated towards the side of the room. There's like very grand banners all around and quite theatric skulls on display with carvings of runes in them. And she's wearing far too many rings as she puts her hands in the air and brings them back down again in very theatrical movements.
Mhm.
There is definitely a crowd around her.
That's not about that.
Monty,
Yep.
roll me perception to see if, or investigation to see if you can find a good mark.
I said investigation, right?
Investigation, yeah.
That is a 23.
A 23.
Mm-hmm.
There are about 3 people hanging around this table who seem like the kind worth pickpocketing. Specifically, the kind who are not paying attention to their money, which means they've definitely got enough to lose. There's a
Great.
young woman who seems to have at least 3 pouches of gold on her waist.
Mm-hmm.
And there are 2 men who are standing together, kind of arguing over whether or not they're going to get their futures read.
I am going to go for one of the guys who's arguing. The
Okay,
thought being that if he's having a fight, he's paying even less attention to his wallet.
Okay. With the 2 who are fighting,
Mm-hmm.
give me a number, 1 or 2.
1.
1? Okay.
Yep.
All right. With 1, you have definitely because they look as though they are the same kind of resource band. They're the same class, quite evidently.
Mhm.
They're wearing much the same quality of tailoring and wearing the same sort of amount of finery.
Mhm.
But the one that you choose to go for is the one who's like, oh, come on, it'll be like 2 seconds. We'll get our futures read, and then we'll know whether or not we actually stand a chance. And the person he's arguing with is like, if you need our futures read to see whether or not we are going to stand a chance in a relationship, I've got fucking problems. I need you to roll
Excellent.
sleight of hand. Sleight of hand, Monty?
That's yeah, I'm just doing mental math. It's a very big number. It's 28.
God damn, Monty.
Got a +9 to sleight of hand, and I rolled a 19.
He's a rogue.
As these two are arguing, and it's devolved now into, honestly, you didn't even come with me to go and see my mom when she was ill. You sneak a hand into this man's pocket. He doesn't have a very easily reachable coin purse on display, so it's got to be a pocket that you go for. And you do the old switcheroo.
Mhm.
With absolutely no problem. He doesn't sense you at all. You get away. You have a coin purse in your hand.
How much is in the coin purse?
Are you going to open it there and then?
No, I'm going to um I'm going to like sort of step into a corner or something to just sort of take a quick look. And do I
Mhm.
sleight of hand that? Because I want to do it without being seen.
I'd like you to stealth.
Okay. Oh, fuck.
Zanthe, roll me perception, because you were kind of
What?
glancing in this direction while Monty was doing this.
Okay. 11.
Okay, nope, yep. Monty's disappeared, vanished, poof.
I'm not surprised.
I got a 9 for my stealth roll.
Oh, I saw the 23. With a 9, actually, Zanthe, you can see that Monty's gone off to the side.
What's he doing?
Yeah, the 28 was my sleight of hand to steal stuff.
Yep. Yeah, I'm sorry. I
That's
misread
okay.
that on the dice rolls. Um,
No worries.
With a 9, Zanthe, you can see that Monty's kind of tried to, as stealthily as possible, go behind the curtain in the corner.
Huh?
But you also see that one of the people in the crowd is also heading his direction.
I'm gonna try to walk over to the person heading in his direction and just fucking trip and fall on him.
I would like you to give me a performance.
Okay.
Yenna, I would also like you to roll to see if you've noticed that this is going on at all. If you can roll me a
Oh,
perception.
Sure.
okay.
17.
15?
15? Good
Yeah.
performance?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yenna?
17.
A 17. With a 17, you can see exactly where Monty is, and that Monty has a coin purse in his hand, and you see Zanthe beelining it between this person that's walking in Monty's direction to just dramatically throw himself upon the ground and be
Well,
like,
on him if I
ah!
can. Like, I want to bring him down with me.
Oh yeah, no, you do. You
Okay,
do.
okay.
Like, there is no problem with that. You bring this woman down with you.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
There's just a ah! And suddenly you are just a tangle upon the ground.
oh.
I'm sorry. He starts,
What are
like,
you
getting
doing?
up.
Oh my god, where
Oops.
did you even come from?
There
Like,
was water on the floor, and I starts, like, trying to
there was
brush
what on
stuff
the
up.
floor?
Water?
Where?
I'm just not used to walking in heels. just gets himself up. I think I'm wearing heels in my outfit. And he tries to help her up if she'll
Oh my
take it.
god, you should practice before going out in public in them things.
I
And she's
just,
dusting herself down.
I don't, I just, you're so right. You're absolutely right.
My
Let
god,
me,
you hit like a sack of fucking potatoes.
uh, thank you. Let me buy you a drink. Let me get you over to the bar. And he tries to
I was
like
gonna
corral
say,
her away.
that wasn't a fucking compliment, mate.
I, I just, okay, I'll just buy you a drink. How about that? You like,
You owe me at least 5 for that. God, I think you broke my back. And you can see she's actually limping.
oh shit. Yeah, he's gonna try to guide her over to the bar.
Barman, need a fucking shot of vodka. Yenna, what are you doing?
I'm going to watch that whole situation and just be like, oh, okay, Zanthe can't help me with anything. And it's just going to kind of like, if I can, like, make it over to Monty without being too noticed by, like,
Roll.
that whole situation.
Okay, Yenna, roll me for stealth. And Monty, give me a
Hmm?
perception check.
Uh,
Well, that's a 4.
I got a 5.
Yes, you make it over unseen, though God knows how you manage it. Because the moment that you start moving, you like run into about 3 people and have to say excuse me, excuse me, excuse me as you go. But you end up there.
Oh my god. Ah, hey, what the fuck? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm making money. What are you doing?
I'm also making money. And I held out the coin purse, like briefly flashing that I have the coin purse in my hand. Do I know how much is in it? Or have I not managed to count it?
You open up the coin purse and you find that there is definitely more gold there than you can count in just a few seconds.
Cool.
I want to know
Mm-hmm.
whether you pick up any of the pieces of gold immediately. Like, do you move it around to look at what's maybe underneath it?
Yes.
You find a bar of platinum and a small gold rat skull.
Is this rat skull about the size of a fingernail?
It is.
Well, I'm gonna slip the purse into my pocket. But I have keeping a couple pieces of gold out so I can pay the soothsayer, and then I'm just gonna march on over to the table.
Okay. The soothsayer has a little sign beside her saying, "Fortunes for a gold, readings for 5."
I'm gonna give her 5 gold for a reading.
Do you try to give the gold directly to her?
No, I'm going to just sort of inquire and just be like, um, I'd like a reading.
You would like a reading?
And Monty just nods.
Sit yourself before me.
So that is what I do.
She pushes towards you 3 decks of cards, each with a different backing.
Mm-hmm.
Choose one. And she waves her hands above them.
And choose the one on the left.
Okay. She takes the pile of cards and you see her shuffle them and cut them and shuffle them and cut them, and then she lays out 5 little piles.
Mhm.
And she picks one of the piles and starts dealing the cards towards you. Very gently, just placing the cards down, face down upon the velvet of the tablecloth. Give me your hands, child.
Monty does. Little.
And she takes his hands, and her hands are kind of clammy, and she
Mhm.
grips you much stronger than you thought she would. She kind of squeezes your hands as she leans her head forward and takes in a deep breath and leans back.
Mhm.
Turn over the cards, and she releases your hands. The lights
And they
around you
do.
flicker. And you find before you a series of cards. You find before you a skull, the hands of time, the pigeon, and the beyond. She looks them over with a furrow to her brow, and her eye is dark. And she slams her hand down upon one of the cards and goes, "Ill
Monty
omens
jumps as she does that.
chase you." She goes, "Ill omens chase you, racing upon your heels." And she moves the skull off the table. "And yet you feel like you've been here and done this all before." And she takes the hands of time off the table. "You create the same foolishness over and over again in meaningless ways." And she moves the pigeon off to the side. "But wait, what's this? With a single breath, you could change your future. The beyond is unknown to all of us." And she moves the beyond off the table. And then she just lays her palm face up in front of you.
And Monty drops the 5 gold in her palm and goes, "I could have told you that." As he gets
And
up.
then get out of the chair, kid. Either pay or move along. And she takes
Well,
the
I'm
5 gold that was
paying.
promised. "Do you want another?"
Sure.
She holds out her hand for payment in advance this time.
And so I drop another 5 in her hand.
And she takes it and takes a deep breath and goes, "Would you care for a reading of the cards? Of the stars? Of the water? Or of the fire?"
Monty goes for the fire. Dumbass.
She puts a little bowl in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
and in it she places a little round of charcoal. And with a click of her fingers, it bursts into flame. And the flame is very high in front of you. It's about like 1.5 feet till you can actually see your face in the fire, which is the first thing that tells you that this fire is a bit weird.
Mm-hmm.
"Look, look into the fire, child," she says, and holds out her hands for your hands again.
Monty takes them, just sort of going with the flow, but also kind of keeping sort of a sense of like what is around him. So he never wants to be caught unawares.
Once again, she takes your hands incredibly tightly. I would like you to roll perception, please.
That is a nat 20 plus 2, so that's a 22.
As she takes your hands, you feel little hands on your belt trying to get
Mm-hmm.
at the coin purse.
I'm going to kick whoever is going for my coin purse.
You're just gonna blindly kick.
Well, I think I'll say, excuse me, and look under the table.
You say, "Excuse me," and the woman, the soothsayer, holds your hands all the tighter and just go, "No, dear, don't break away now. You must look into the flame, or your future will be lost."
At this point, Yenna, who
And
has
at
been
this
there,
point, Monty's just like trying, just like, no. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Let go of me.
Yenna, what are you doing?
Yenna's going to like actually just like go and walk under the table. I assume she's short enough.
Are you doing this stealthily, or are you just gonna walk under the table? There are people around.
I mean, probably not stealthily if I'm seeing like Monty like attempting to look like I guess perception to see if I notice that like Monty is distressed. But like if there's something where he's like trying to pull away.
You were pretty close by. I won't even like make you roll for that. You can see that Monty is fairly distressed.
Yeah, and if he's like kind of angling like he's gonna look under the table, she's just gonna walk under the table. Like it's like what the fuck?
I need you to make a dexterity save.
Okie dokie. Ooh, not good.
A small figure tackles you from under the table, and you
5.
are suddenly find yourself with like this goblin in your lap who is attempting to reach your neck and strangle you.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, cool.
The woman at the table is just like, ignore the goblin and look into the fire. And she's pulled you forwards, Monty. I need you to make a strength saving throw. The people around you is also starting to react. There's a lot of like shocked.
Unfortunately, I got a 3.
Are we supposed to like be keeping a low profile?
Yeah, we are.
Yenna, I also need you to make a strength saving throw against this goblin.
Oh, I can't just shatter him. Okay.
You can just shatter them if you would like to.
Probably would start with thunderclap, but I will attempt to ungrapple. Oh, that's actually pretty good. What the fuck? Dirty 20.
Dirty 20?
Yeah.
In the way that the goblin tries to dive for your throat, you have a moment in which it's easy to move out from under them. You can roll to the side, and the goblin just goes "Ack!" and falls to the ground instead. Monty, this woman has pulled you forwards into the fire.
I knew this was gonna happen.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
You feel it lick at your face,
Mhm.
but it doesn't burn.
That's a relief.
Instead, your entire vision turns flickering yellow, gold, and orange. You try to breathe, but there's only the flame in front of you. You can't draw in a breath.
I am starting to panic because this is kind of feeling a little bit like when I died.
And as
And
you
also
look
when I
into
got
the
caught
fire,
on fire.
as you look into the fire and as you start to panic, you see a door in the flame. Just a simple door with a simple handle and a simple lock. In fact, it's so simple that The handle isn't made of brass. The lock isn't made of any sort of metal. It's not a lock that requires a metal key. It's a simple wood latch that would open with a leather key. And the handle's just a little notch. And it's there for a moment, and then it's gone, and the fire dies out in a spark of flame that just outwards. And then you're just above smoking charcoal looking at a very surprised woman. So surprised, she started to let your hands go.
I'm gonna pull my hands free, or try to pull my hands free, and go, the fuck was that?
Nothing. We saw nothing here. Nothing was to be seen. Roll me insight, Yenna and Monty.
15.
My dice. 1 second. I'm sorry, D&D Beyond has the slowest dice on the planet for me. A 5.
A 5. Yenna, you're too taken over by the crowd that started to rush in to try and restrain the goblin who's still spitting and kicking and swearing at you. You see under the table there are actually 3 more goblins, one of whom is trying to eat a gold coin.
Amazing. Seeing that people are coming to assist, she's going to turn on the waterworks. Full toddler cry.
So you start crying. Monty, you see this woman starts to make hand motions as she says you've seen nothing.
And I'm just gonna look at her and go, I saw something. What the fuck did I see?
I need you to make a
And
wisdom save.
that's an 11.
Your mind goes blank. You freeze. And for a moment, you're hardly even Monty. And then it all seems to come to. All in a rush. And you see her throw down the velvet on the table. And the people around you are also blinking away something. What were you doing? You were having a reading, but why are you standing up? Yenna, I need you to make a wisdom save.
Okay.
Oh,
Not. That is a 5 total.
Why are you on the floor? Why is your face wet? What were you doing? You both don't remember anything of the last 10 minutes.
Oh. We'll start crying in earnest because she does not like the brain stuff at all. All of that shit's been really fucking with her.
Monty, you just see Yenna start to cry off to the side.
And I'm going to go over to Yenna after discreetly checking to see that I still have my stolen goods. Although, did I forget that I took the wallet?
No, you would remember the wallet, and you do remember the reading. You just don't
Okay.
remember any of the commotion.
Okay. So I'm gonna check that I have the wallet as I head over to check on Yenna.
I will also say you remember the fire reading as well.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm going to actually, if I remember the fire reading before I go check with Yenna, I'm just still gonna just turn and look at the soothsayer and just what the fuck was that door?
Whatever
Try
you
to
saw in the
intimidate
fire,
her.
child. Roll intimidation.
I got an 11, so it wasn't very intimidating.
She looks at you and she smiles, as still part of the act, and says, "Anything that you saw in the fire, my dear, is for you to know, not I. We all see something different among the flames."
And I'm grumpily gonna just go and sit by Yenna and see how she's doing. Would I recognize the door? Was it like the door that to the hut that I had entered when I
Roll me a
stole the
history check.
Riverstone?
Roll me a history check.
That's a 10.
You are not familiar with that door.
Nope.
No. You rack your brain, but you've not really seen many rough-hewn doors in your life. You feel like you would remember it because of its rarity. Your doors are usually much more lavish, with better locks.
Mm-hmm. So I go and sit by Yenna while doing a cursory check that I still have the coin purse that I stole, and say, "Are you okay?"
I don't know. My head hurts. And there's like a little like emphasis on hurts. In trying to imply something is like actually wrong.
I
Fine.
will say, Yenna, the only thing that would be wrong would be you wouldn't know why you were crying.
Okay.
You would
How
you
would
would
I
not
understand?
notice your missing memories.
Okay, so no. Oh man. Okay. So I wouldn't notice that lost time like at all, necessarily.
No. No.
Oh, that spell's so shit. That spell is so shitty. Uh. No, she's just gonna be like, I don't know. I don't understand why why I'm here.
So I don't know why I was standing up in that reading and having face over charcoal.
Xanth, I want you to roll me perception.
Oh, let's see. Oh, 17.
You saw all of this happen, and
Okay,
then
well,
abruptly just stop and reset.
what did it look like from my perspective?
From your perspective, it was a bunch of about 5 people around this woman started some sort of commotion. There was a goblin. Yenna was crying. Security was about to come over, and then everybody just decided to act like it had never happened.
He's gonna message Monty and with the Sunny Stone.
Yulie, you will also hear this.
Um,
Okay.
he's gonna kind of whisper. I can roll stealth if you want, but just like, what the fuck just happened?
What do you mean?
Don't.
Just what just happened? I had a reading.
I She was dragging you, and then you started. I don't understand
What do you mean she was dragging me?
the fire.
I remember. Yeah, it was a fire reading. Of course, there was going to be fire.
I thought you were gonna fight someone or someone Yenna was gonna fucking tackle those goblins or some shit. I don't understand.
Goblin.
Guys, what's happening in there? What's going on? There's fire and goblins?
I was doing a fire reading. Don't worry about it.
Well, no, I'm kind of worried about it. Maybe a little bit.
Monty's gonna help Yenna up and just sort of. I'm gonna look for Zanthe. And do I still have my change purse? Or these change purse I stole?
You don't. You don't still have it. The feeling that you felt just before all of the commotion
Mm-hmm.
was the purse being stolen. So it's gone.
Fucker.
But now, you don't even remember that there was ever a touch at the coin purse.
Mm-hmm. Fuckers are good. Whoever took that. I just
Yeah.
sigh. Yes, Yen?
Yen is just sort of like calming down and then like, man, that's so fucky because it's like not reasonable for her to like try to figure out what happened because she was crying and then like was suddenly just standing there, not crying anymore, but still had tears on her face.
Yep.
And I can't do any kind of intelligence check about that.
You
Fucky.
can do. Roll for common sense. Roll me a d20.
Okay.
Can I roll for
I will
common
warn
sense
you,
too?
the DC is high.
Okay. Do I add anything or is it just whatever is on there?
It's just whatever is on there.
Okay. 19.
Okay? Monty, you can roll for it too.
I got. Hold on. 16.
Monty, you. Hook, line, and sinker just do not know what's going on here. Like, because you just had a reading. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yenna, like, it's disquieting. You don't know that something happened,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not every day that you're suddenly standing there with tears on your face.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. She's just going to like rub her face off and be like, I don't like it here. um, and she's probably actually going to go outside to at least catch her breath because that was a lot, probably for her.
Zanthe, Monty, what are you doing? Are you going to follow or are you going to stay in the casino?
I'm gonna stay in the casino and steal
Stay.
another.
Oh my god.
Try and steal another chain. Steal another purse.
There he is. The
Yep.
king.
That's
Yep.
the boy.
Yenna, you step outside and a wave of chill air hits you. It's starting to be autumn, as most school years start, and the sun has gone down quite a while ago now. And there's a faint breeze, and it's very settling. It's grounding.
Mm-hmm.
Yulie, you're out there.
Yeah, I'm still hiding though, right? I'm like one with the shadows, question mark.
You are still one with the shadows if you wish to
Nice.
be.
Good. Yeah, because I was gonna try and like listen to people talking as they walked in, right? I think that was my whole thing.
Yes.
Tight. So yeah, I would still be there then.
Okay. At this point, you haven't overheard anything of note. I won't even make you roll for it.
Great.
Mainly because you were not here.
Fair enough.
It's been a lot of gossip of who's going out with who, and oh, we should go and see a show later on tonight, and isn't it a balmy night? Strange for this time of year. It's usually raining. It's been a lot of that. And
Okay.
who's wearing what and that sort of thing.
Then I think
Until Yenna spills out of the door.
I think once Yenna comes out, then Yulie would just appear in all of her drowness, just suddenly be there. Like, are you okay? Is everything all right?
Yenna probably looks like she's been crying because there's a certain amount of like actual tears happened. And she's
Right.
like, that place is exciting, but also like very weird.
Okay. Do you want to sit? I found a really great shadow spot over here that I've been in for a while.
Yenna's gonna look at her like, what the fuck does that even mean? But okay. Like, and they like Yulie has probably said things that are similarly like odd, and it's just been like, sure, whatever the fuck that meant, sure.
Yulie will just like take 2 steps back and suddenly just basically be gone. Like, see?
Yenna, watching that happen, Yenna's gonna be like, you know that the reason that people think there are cryptids on Candace is probably because of you, right?
What? No, no, because I don't think I normally get caught.
To be fair,
Yenna just stares at her at the spot where Yulie should be. Not
Like,
even at
there's
her.
just 2 little peepers like out in the shadows, just staring at her like, what? Me?
Yeah, because this whole look is definitely like my sleep paralysis demon.
Yulie steps back out looking like kind of flustered, like, oh no, I'm sorry. I don't okay, then I won't do that then. I'll just what can I do? Can I
Oh,
help?
it's okay. We will sit in the shadow, and I will try to figure something out because something weird happened, and I didn't like it. But did you hear anything good?
No, it's a lot of the people that are coming in here are just it's talking about other people I think that are probably in there, so it's kind of hard contextually to figure out, what really is happening, which I guess I should have expected.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
But I did write down, let's see. She'll like open her notebook. I wrote down, Keith, apparently is awful. So if you meet a Keith in there, don't talk to him. And also, let's see, Amanda and Amy are doing really well. They're apparently got over their whole thing. So
oh, yeah.
so if you
I
go
bet
in
I
and
bet I
To
meet an
made
any
Amanda or an
to
Amy,
any Keiths, Amandas, or Amys that are listening, no hard feelings.
I bet I met Keith. There was this like terrible little halfling piece of shit in there. He was
Oh,
so
yeah.
rude. Yeah, no, like I was going to pay for his like gambling debts, but then he was rude to me, so I did it.
Well, I'm glad that you didn't fight anybody.
Yeah,
Um,
we're trying to be stealthy. Why would I fight somebody?
right. Yeah. What was it about goblins and fire and Monty sounded like he wasn't too worried, but Zanthe did sound worried.
I literally have no idea what Xantha's talking about with the goblins. There was fire. Monty like had a fire reading or something. I don't know. I think that lady's not real. Really, like a soothsayer. She didn't seem like a divination
Oh.
wizard, anyways. So I don't know what the fuck her problem
Okay.
is. I think she's scamming Monty. But it's his gold. Whatever.
It wasn't my gold, it was someone else's.
Yenna doesn't know that.
I don't have any gold, I am broke.
Again, Yenna doesn't know that. But yeah, I don't
Yu-
know.
Yulie gets kind of like a faraway look in her eyes, like staring at the door. I mean, like, there's always if it's fake, there's always ways to prove that, you know. There's always like there's something that you can find that makes it obvious that it wasn't real, you know.
That's true. Actually, do you want to go inside?
Yes, I do. I don't want to be out here anymore. Can I come in with you?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Okay.
I love you all just abandoning Balthazar out there.
Wait, has he just
No
been
one
out
said
here
he
with
can't
me?
come.
Yeah.
He's been outside, but no one said he can't come.
Has he been in the shadows with me? Has he been my cryptid buddy?
No, he hasn't been your cryptid buddy.
Well,
He's
okay.
he was doing a perimeter, so
Yeah. Yenna will be like, "Hi, Balthazar. We're gonna both go inside, so you should come too. Okay, bye."
are you sending that message?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. He'll send you one back being like, maybe in a bit. Bye.
Oh, this
Oh
motherfucker.
my god. This poor man.
You gotta understand, infinite time loops of Yenna trying to become his TA. Exactly in that personality. Um,
Cool. Yeah,
So,
then I would go back in with Yana then.
okay, you make your way back in, and it is absolutely grand. Yulie, it's very overwhelmingly full of people, and everything is very grand. Roll me perception.
Okay.
Both of you, actually.
A 14.
16.
You notice there's a stage in the air.
Okay.
There's music playing on it. It's not soft strains, it's very like upbeat, but it's definitely in the air. It's not held up by anything. It's just floating there. There's a stage in the air floating.
Neat. Very cool.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Yulie is having trouble focusing. She's probably looking everywhere and like doing that thing where, you know, you have a destination and you're supposed to keep walking, but she keeps stopping to like look at other things.
You see a bunch of gaming tables. There's also a lot of security that you notice are watching you guys as you walk back in. Zanthe, Monty, what are you doing?
I'm stealing. I'm pickpocketing someone else.
Indeed, you are. Okay, all right. Roll me investigation to find a mark.
Math time. Actually, I didn't use the inspiration I got on my wisdom roll.
You didn't. You
but
can
wait.
use that if you want to.
Well, I got an 18 on my investigation, so I will hold on to that.
Okay, so with an 18 for your investigation, you make sure to look in a very different direction to around the soothsayer's booth. So you head over towards the blackjack tables to see if you can try and find somebody. To be met with a very lucky opportunity of this quite wealthy to do man who is scrabbling at an overflowing amount of gambling chips. And he's just kind of like, far too many, such a good win, as he's making his way through everybody that's there. He's trying to get to the check-in desk to get them exchanged for money.
I am going to go pretend that I do not see him and run into him to knock some of the chips out of his hand, out of his arms.
Okay. What are you trying to make it look like? Are you trying to do it as just a stealthy bump, or are you trying to turn it into a, oh, I'm so sorry I bumped into you sort of thing?
And oh, I'm so sorry I bumped into you, sort of thing.
Roll me performance. And sleight of hand.
Okay, so I am going to use my inspiration on that. That is performance 13, and my sleight of hand is a dirty 20.
Okay. So yes, you do manage to bump into this man. What do you say to try and make the performance stick?
Put things in the wrong chat. And so I'm gonna just be like, I'm so sorry, sir. Let me help you, and like I'm going to
Oh
help
no, it's no
give him
bother. It's
some of
no
those
bother at
back.
all. It's absolutely no problem. No bother. I've got so many, and he pushes some into your arms.
Oh,
Oh, thank you,
For being
sir.
so kind and helping me with them again. And he's very drunk. He's very drunk. Like, you can smell the whiskey on this man.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Such a
let me
jolly
help you
good
over.
lad. Good lad.
Let me help you over there, sir. And
Oh, they don't make them like you anymore. And he reaches out to pinch your cheek and spills more chips in the process.
mm-hmm. I'm just grabbing the chips that he's spilling and assist in putting for if 5 chips fall, then I put 4 back in his hand and keep one for myself and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So,
You can get a pretty tidy sum that way.
mm-hmm.
And he's leaning on you heavily by the time that you get to the check-in desk.
Mm-hmm.
At which point he's like, "Oh dear God, do exchange these," and he pushes them across the countertop to the teller woman on the other side, who starts counting them in.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to make a shot of any more of them?
Yeah, I'm going to try and just like grab a couple more as he's done that.
I would need you to make sleight of hand, please.
That was a nat 1 or a 10, as we do when things are.
With a 10, the teller woman looks at your hands, watches you take it, and looks back at you. And slowly raises an eyebrow.
And I'm gonna put my finger to my lips and just the sort of like finger to my lips, sort of like tilted my head as though to say like, don't say anything and this is yours.
Roll me persuasion.
Hold on. What is my persuasion? That's a 22.
With a 22, you see the other eyebrow very slowly raises to match, and she
Mm-hmm.
just continues counting the chips. Just very quietly continues counting the chips
Mm-hmm.
and puts them aside and gets out a box of money and starts counting
Mm-hmm.
out the money and putting it in front of the man who's just exchanged them. And she goes, "There you are, sir. Enjoy the rest of your night." And he's like, "Thank you ever so much, dear. Absolutely wonderful service. You are a wonderful bonny staff. And you, dear boy, thank you again." And he pushes a wad of cash into your hands and just goes stumbling out the door.
And as he's stumbling out the doors, thank you, sir. And then we'll proceed to have my chips exchanged for money. No, fully like with the intention of giving this woman at least what that one chip was worth that I had stolen. Probably both, or probably twice as much.
She takes them from you and starts counting through them and says, "I do hope that you're enjoying your night, sir," as she counts.
It's been interesting to say the least.
And
Very
quite
entertaining.
profitable.
I wouldn't really know. Well, then Monty looks down at the cash in his hand and goes, "That was unexpected. I was just doing what I could to help this this fellow."
Indeed. And she pushes towards you. You can see that she's sorted it into like a little cash pouch. And she pushes it towards you and goes, "Your winnings, sir."
Thank you. And I'm going to pull out
I
some
need
of
you
the.
to roll perception.
That's a 16.
Okay. Okay. Yep. There is a cash pouch there. And she is staring and smiling at Monty.
Oh no. I'm going to take the cash pouch, but leave some of the cash on the table for her that I was given by the gentleman.
Ever so kind, sir. And she scrapes it towards her and puts it in what you can see as a tip jar.
Yeah. Well, have a wonderful evening, ma'am. And it's sort of.
You too, sir. You too.
And I would like to look into the. Once I have stepped away, I would like to look into the wallet to see what is there and what I have been given by this gentleman.
The amount of money?
Yeah.
Your winnings from this gentleman translate to 2 platinum and 100 gold.
Um,
And a small gold cat skull. No bigger than a thumbnail.
so I am now going to very carefully put the wallet away. And not do nothing else that would draw attention to myself.
I would like all of you to roll perception for me.
Someone just walked in.
Literally all of us.
Yep.
Okay.
I got a 6.
I got a 7.
Oh,
Here, guys,
I
let
just
me
walked
roll.
in.
Let
I'm
me
very
see if I know
overwhelmed,
this.
guys.
You can't roll from across town. Sorry, Yulie. What did you roll?
A 7.
Yenna, what did you roll? Did you roll an 18? Monty, you're counting your winnings. Yulie, you're wrapped up in the grandeur of the place. Zanthe, you're distracted by whatever you're distracted by. Please take your pick.
um, it's a great question. I think he just started seeing like a fucking like I don't know if there's any dogs in here or something like that, but it's just like a bird outside or some shit. Like it's
There
really
is a
interesting.
tabaxi. No, there is a tabaxi woman who has like a little poodle dog
Yeah,
over her shoulder.
he misses cheese. He's looking at that.
Aww.
Oh,
Well, now I'm sad.
I didn't mean to make it sad.
Yenna, you see someone walk in among the crowd, fairly finely dressed, like not too richly, who bears a striking resemblance to Xanth.
Oh,
And
you mother!
that's where we're gonna take our break.
The fuck?
Those of you watching at home, For those of you watching at home, we're going to take a break for the next 10-15 minutes. We suggest that you get up, stretch, grab a drink. That's certainly what we're going to do, and it's definitely not going to be yelling at the DM for the next 5 minutes. See you guys in a bit. Bye.
Bye.
Are you sure that's not what it is?
And we're back.
Hi. Welcome back. Wow, voice break. Welcome back. We've had our break. Hope you guys have too. I've had a glass of milk. It's made me sleepy because I am a 5-year-old child. Welcome to Hellions
Have
Part
pork
2.
chops.
You have pork chops?
Yeah, that's what I made for dinner yesterday, and it had been left over.
Okay, so half of the cast is eating.
I'm having a Lunchable, dude. Like, I don't even.
Professionals. That's us.
Yeah.
You don't need to call us out like we are professional.
Look, hey, if Critical Role can eat on stream, so can we.
Yes, this is true.
So we left off in part 1 with a rousing adventure at the Swan in the Hidden Road, which is a wonderful, grand casino that the Hellions tore through completely and utterly. Monty robbed so many people. Zanthe just got distracted by a tabaxi with a poodle.
Yeah.
I only robbed 2 people.
That cat's petting that dog.
We never should have come back online. I'm sorry.
It's
Stream
beautiful.
is cancelled. I'm
No,
done.
it's beautiful. Love that.
So anyway, we take on part 2 on the other side of town. In a little humble establishment called the Marriott Hotel.
Which is spelled Maryotte. It has no there's no real world equivalent of this hotel.
For
Which
legal
is like
reasons.
for legal reasons I would like to establish this. No
For legal reasons, we
connections.
establish that any connection or resemblance to a real world hotel is entirely coincidental and not at
Completely
all planned or
coincidental.
parodied.
Ned's sister may or may not have worked for that hotel chain for a long time.
Well, just make sure that your sister's not a snitch, okay? In the humble
It doesn't work for them
establishment on the other
anymore.
side
It's
of
fine.
town. In a humble establishment on the other side of town.
Okay, we're back.
You've been going through Belial's things, Tink. Things that have been the last that he'd had on him at his death. When you'd felt the bed beside you sink beneath weight, and a very familiar voice had said, "That was a bad idea."
At first Tink doesn't look over and I think just immediately scoffs, like almost reflexively, like, yeah, I know that. Also, fuck, no, you're not here.
I think if you turn around, you'll find I am.
He just keeps staring straight ahead.
So we're going to play that game. All right, I can do that. Maybe next time you shouldn't go around touching things that don't belong to you.
What do you want me to do? You're dead. And he's gonna turn and look.
There's no one there. The room is empty. The bed hasn't sunk at all. It's totally unruffled.
Mm-hmm. And I think out
Dead
loud.
is an overestimation. Comes whispered right by your ear.
I've lost my mind. It happened. It happened much more quickly than I thought it would, actually.
Take a breath, Tink, and think again.
He does, despite his better judgment. Why? How do I know it's?
Ask me anything. I'll give you whatever answer I can.
So here's the thing. If I have lost my mind, I expect is the case. Anything I ask that I know the answer to, it still doesn't do a lot to verify anything, because if I know the answer, your answer, then I know. So
That book, the one on the counter, pick it up.
I thought you said I shouldn't be touching your things. And he'll.
Well,
up
I'm
and
not
grab
around
it.
to stop you anymore, am I?
So he.
I'm
he
sorry,
picks
was
up.
that too soon?
It'll always be.
You feel the weight of a hand come down on your shoulder. Almost as though someone's leaned in to look over it. Turn to the back page. And then I want you to go 10 pages in. When you do that, you will find a map of an area under the school.
He does that. Turns to the back page, 10 pages.
Spread across 2 pages, there is a roughly hewn diagram of what you guys have affectionately termed the murder basement. In perfect detail, with layout of all of the columns of stone, all of the steps. There's even intricate drawings. The alcoves where crystals had been placed to light the way, or used as locks or magical instruments.
Are there any indications of like the sigil thing that we found, or?
Roll a history check.
Blech. That's the sound of a great roll. It's a 13.
A 13?
Yes.
There do seem to be strange symbols written around the outside of the map, but you wouldn't be able to tell whether or not they were exactly the same as the one that you'd seen written on the floors of the murder basement. It's not as though you had the perfect aerial view of the entire place. So reasonably it could be, or it could not be. You can't be sure.
Yeah. Um. oh. Why did you have this? Why are you?
You don't receive any answer. The presence that felt as though it was leaning over your shoulder is gone. You don't feel the hand there anymore. There's just silence.
I don't know which is worse. I don't know if it's fear or feeling like. And he kind of slumps back on.
And the silence of the room just sort of echoes around you. Whatever was with you before is gone.
He's just gonna be looking at that little cat skull. Bad idea. It's not. There was something else. Oh. Wanted to take at the. I think that's. He's gonna look at the cat skull like. I could just try whatever that was again. And see. And recognize that this is a extremely bad plan. And reach for the broken stone instead.
Do you reach for the broken stone with your real hand or your prosthetic?
I think the real hand.
You feel it warm under your fingers, as though the magic in it is still active. It's something that you've come to associate with the stones, with the rocks that all of you have access to. It hums slightly to the touch.
I think he's gonna take his out as well, and like place the two. There'll be a quartz and a rose quartz next to each other, and kind of like look at them on the table in front of him.
How close are you placing them next to each other?
Not touching, at least not on purpose, but pretty much as close as they could be without touching. He places them directly beside.
The quartz flies off the table and hits the wall with a thunk and rolls across the ground.
Why would you do that? He puts it back.
It does it again.
Why? Why? He looks at his stone. Why is that happening?
Your stone just sits there, just being a stone.
No, you don't get to pretend to just be a rock right now. We've done this dance. You're gonna have a talk. He's like pointing at the stone.
Roll intimidation.
It's not intimidating. Can he roll persuasion?
Sure, why not?
It's
Go
not gonna
ahead.
break it. It's a 15.
Okay, alright. You rolled a 15. The stone looks like a stone still.
Yeah.
It always looks like a stone.
How he's gonna try and figure out how close he can place the stones together without one of them flying off the table.
Okay, do you keep both hands on the stones while you're doing this?
Yeah, I think so.
So, you start at one edge of the table. and slowly inch the stones together. And as they get closer and closer and closer, you feel a vibrating hum getting more and more frequent beneath your fingers. Until about 2 inches away, the quartz stone flies out from under your fingertips and hits the wall again.
Okay, so it's not even like a gradual force like a magnet or something. It's literally like a repulsion.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna make some notes. And then keep them about 3 inches apart.
At 3 inches apart, they're both humming loud enough to hear. It's like some sort of resonance filling the air, like a high-pitched noise in your ears.
Why? Why do you do that?
Roll me persuasion.
It's a nat one.
Just carries on.
If we have reason, right? And we've had the stones pretty close together before. Like Tink's thrown his and Kay's into a bag together. We've like carried multiples of it. He grabbed all of them. He's done a lot of shit with these stones. He grabbed all of them the day that we were going down to do the whole doppelganger thing. So that everyone had them. We've never experienced this kind of reaction.
No, you've never experienced this reaction with the stones before, at all.
Is this because you're broken? This always happens. You know,
Roll me persuasion.
you know, like, you're something. We can... If you're not gonna help, I don't understand what I'm doing. And his persuasion that time was a 21.
The humming gets higher in pitch. It goes from a up to a on the air.
See, that doesn't really answer my question. I think he's kind of like fiddling with his ear. He's like, oh, it's like very unpleasant.
Roll me perception.
I'm like, at what point is his brother going to hear him talking to himself? It's a 14.
You start to see, you think you're imagining it the first time. Just a tiny spark that flies from the broken stone to yours. From Belial's stone to yours. But then it happens again. From your stone to Belial's. And then again. From Belial's stone to yours. Just the briefest flash of light. All it takes is a nanosecond. But it's getting faster. And faster. And faster.
He's just gonna watch. He's not gonna stop. He's like next to it, like sitting on the edge of the bed, just like watching, trying to figure out why this is happening.
It gets to a point where it's so fast going back and forth between these two stones that it doesn't even look like one pulse anymore. It looks like a string of light is just connecting them. It flickers, and then it becomes just a constant, steady stream. And when it hits that point, the room fades away. You are surrounded by darkness. You are in a sea of stars. And in front of you is a door.
Door I've seen before.
Roll me history.
So it was a 10. But if it is a door I have seen in the last month, I do have keen mind.
You do. You do.
Okay. Depending on how recently this door, his shoddy recollection may or may not matter.
You can't 100% figure out if it's the same one that you saw all those months ago at the start of school when you were in the dragon's lair, the dragon's hoard beneath the school. But there's a small window in it, much the same as those doors were, to look through.
Gonna look at it. This bitch loves doors.
Do you put a hand on the door?
Oh yeah, he's all in. He's fucked.
You lean in and you rest a hand against the door, and as you go to look inside the window, you see the briefest flash of stars on the other side, but a different sky, and then you're tumbling through the door. And everything is light and color and blurring past you so fast you can't even keep track. You are falling. This isn't walking through a door. This is endless. This is unknowable. And then gravity seems to change, and suddenly you are standing. You're not falling anymore. You're upside down, but there is ground beneath your feet. And staircases reach from beneath your feet around you in every direction.
Okay.
Roll perception. Roll perception.
Good. That is a 20.
The staircases around you twist and turn with no adherence to the laws of physics. They go upside down, they go sideways, they seem to lead nowhere and everywhere at once. But in the center of the room, directly opposite you, about 120 feet away, is a figure sitting cross-legged on what to you is the ceiling.
He's gonna message.
The sound of 1,000 winds come back.
Okay, maybe that was why can you talk?
You see the head of the figure raises to look at you. And you are looking into a void. It is a golden skull for a face, a human one this time, but there are no eyes. It's just endless black.
Suitably.
And the figure stands, looking at you. And in the next heartbeat, they're standing in front of you,
Okay, that was
as though they jumped.
That-
It's as though they jumped and gravity righted itself, and now they're right in front of you.
that was a little. That's your. I he like thinks about running, and then Tink's like literally like, where would I go? I'm in a weird pocket dimension. I've done this to myself. And he's like, I feel like the stress of the situation is just at the point where he's like, yeah, if you're gonna, I mean, I'd prefer not to die. If you're gonna kill me, it's quick, I guess. I really see how I'm getting out of here.
A hand raises to your cheek, and you hear the rattle of wind around you.
What am I?
The hand that was on your cheek for just a moment reaches down to take one of your hands, if you let him.
I think my
The figure takes your hand and starts walking through the staircases. And every staircase that you pass, there's a door, and another, and another. Some are fractured, some are broken, some are incredibly old, some are brand new. What was your question?
Do the doors like do they resemble the doors from the void, like from the Nexus at all?
Roll me just a straight up intelligence check.
What?
Could be, again, you cannot be sure if they 100% match up. It's been a very little time, but also what seems like an age since you were last in the Nexus.
Yeah. Especially because someone broke it last loop.
Looking at
I'm
you,
not
Zan.
here. I'm like I'm in a different dimension right now.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just I think taking mental notes. Does he have his thing?
Any items that he had on him in the hotel, he has now.
Okay. Does have his
So
notebook.
feasibly, yes.
Yeah, he only has one hand right now because he's being guided along. But he will take notes if he gets a chance in the event that he makes it out of here alive, which I think is kind of accepted is very unlikely.
You get the chance to make a couple of notes. The figure guiding you forward doesn't seem to be in any sort of rush to take you wherever they're going. And it's a winding path and up and down so many staircases that it would have been easy to lose count if you weren't so good at figuring out puzzles and connections. Until you stop in front of a very shabby door. The paint's peeling. The wood underneath is swollen from rainwater and years. The handle was probably polished once, but it was never a very good metal to start with. and the figure lets go of your hand.
Go through.
The figure just starts walking away.
Oh, wait, and now you're just gonna go?
It stops, and it turns, and you hear the whistle of winds through the mountains.
Oh. Stupid.
It takes a step towards you, and you hear the answering roar of a storm wind. That peters out into the breeze through trees.
He's gonna take that as a... Thank you. Maybe? Thank you for not killing me. Something that probably...
You hear the sound of a gentle breeze on a sunny day through grass.
Okay. Yeah, all right. And I think he just turns around and opens the door.
Inside is a house. It's not a very well-to-do house. It's quite threadbare and well looked after, but nothing in it was ever of good quality. Things are starting to fall apart a bit, because everything in it is now much older than it was ever intended to be. It looks like once upon a time there might have been a fire in the hearth, but there's just soot there now. Do you go in?
Yeah. You can... This boy's never not walked through. Yeah, he's gonna go in and look around. He figures he must be here for...
As you step into the house, you can hear the sound of voices in the next room. They're not far away, they're literally next door. It would just be a hop, a skip, and a jump to get there. And the conversation that they're having is quite sedate. There's some laughter. It doesn't seem urgent at all.
Are the voices familiar?
Roll perception.
It's an 11.
One voice is very familiar, and the other one is familiar in a way that is horrible. One of the voices is Belial's. The other's is yours.
Yeah. He's gonna see if he can into the next room, not knowing what the laws of whatever are happening here is.
I would like you to roll me stealth.
And hearing that it's us, would I be able to place where this is, or is this location still unfamiliar?
Given the context, you recognize this as the kitchen at Belial's home that he shares with his father and his younger sister.
That's what I was scared of. That's 19 stealth.
You manage to crack the door open just a little bit, just a tiny peek. And as you look through, you see... The first thing that you see is Belial's sister, who is helping sort through shopping. The next thing that you see is you, elbow deep in trying to help, as Belial is teasing you for not knowing the value of a cabbage.
Tink just
And-
sitting there like, what could a cabbage cost? A 10 gold?
That was
2
a
coppers,
very good
barely.
Thank you.
You do know by just looking at yourselves that this is easily would have to be 6 years ago. Belial hasn't had his hair that long for a long time. And your own hair is dyed in a dye that's not quite perfect yet.
Still a little patchy. He's like,
Especially like as you turn around, you see that the back is just a mess.
He kind of makes like a slight mental note to be like, I should probably check the back. But is doing his best to like make notes about what he would remember about this day. Then in case it's this event and not just like this memory significant.
Roll me history.
Oh, bless a nat 20. That's a 27.
You remember nothing immediately stands out about this day. But then you remember that you'd left before dinner. Belial's father had come home, and the man was ornery at the best of times. But Belial especially didn't like you around after his father had been drinking. And you went back to the dormitories alone. And Belial stayed. And when you woke up the next morning, Belial hadn't been there. He went missing for about 2 days. He'd sent a note by courier telling you that he was alright, and that he'd be back as soon as things at home were dealt with.
My boy's sticking around.
It takes about 10 minutes of watching this back and forth bickering, the sorting of the groceries, before exactly what you remembered happens. And Belial's father stumbles into the house, reeking of drink, and looking man-possessed. His face written in anger and regret, fueled by alcohol. He walked in yelling, his voice raised. And you see ever so clearly the way Belial turns first to his sister to pull her behind him, and then to you to tell you to leave.
As
And you try to fight it. Yes?
continue the scene till other Tink goes to leave.
Other Tink attempts to fight Belial to put up at least a cursory bicker back. But Belial levels you a look that you know quite well. And with a heavy sigh and a worried look, he heads towards the door. What would you like to do?
I think at that point, Tink is going to throw something. Just something small. Near him, who is leaving the situation, and not the family who is, I would dare to say, heavily distracted at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a little rock or piece of refuse. But basically, he wants to see if anyone turns their head and notices, or if he's like, can't touch things, can't interact, can't be seen, like that kind of thing.
You reach out to the side of you, and it's very easy to grasp something. To find a little knick-knack to throw. And as you throw it through the door, I want you to roll stealth again.
Okay. Not as good. That's fine. It's an 11.
The little spoon that you just threw across the floor makes a loud clatter before skidding and bumping against the boot of your younger self, who doesn't seem to notice it as he walks out the door. Roll perception.
That's a 24.
As you're closing the door after throwing the spoon, you see Belial is looking right at you. And his eyes widen. Shock written all over his face, and confusion before there's a furrow on his brow. And he drags his sister towards the door as his father's yelling. And that man's voice is loud and awful and grating. And the next thing you know, that Belial is shutting the door on you. You can no longer see into the room. You can just hear the man yelling on the other side.
Is it locked?
Are you going to test it?
I'll give it a little bit.
You try to jiggle it a little bit. It's not locked. It definitely bounces, but you get the impression that Belial is leaning back against it on the other side. Especially when there's a thunk of an elbow hitting the door.
Okay. I'll listen.
The voices are muffled on the other side. You can barely even properly make out words with the door shut, especially with a person in front of it. But you start to hear a high-pitched hum.
He might. in a message. And
Okay. And what does he say?
what is happening? Please. No questions. What is he trying to make you do?
For a long moment, there's not a reply, and you can hear that part of the reason for that is Belial answering his father on the other side of the door. Until you feel and hear Belial's voice in your head being like, just take the stone and go.
No. What does that mean?
And Belial casts message, and you hear the stone on the kitchen table. You take it and you go. That's what you always do. Do it now.
He immediately turns to see if he can see the stone.
Sitting on the kitchen table, pretty as you please, is a fully whole, not fractured quartz stone.
He shakes his head like he knows this is a terrible idea and grabs it. And I guess the way as he's going through this like back room, he's also gonna like have casually been like mending thing.
I want you to roll a d6 to see how much mending you can get done.
Cause he's an idiot asshole. That's a 6, baby.
You've practically given Belial a new kitchen to cook in.
Good. He deserves it.
But as you walk back through the door, and it shuts behind you, all of that falls away. There are no stairs, there's no darkness, there's no stars, there's no strange figure with a voice like rattling wind. There's just the room at the hotel. And a quartz stone in your hand. And on the table where you left them before is your stone, whole, sitting there, fine as you like. And Belial's has broken into 6 pieces.
I think he'll place it not as close, but he's gonna like put it back down on the table.
You hear that humming, but it's quieter now. More of a comforting hum than the high-pitched whine that it was. And there's a little knock on the door.
Tink fully like bolt upright, like starts, was not expecting any hint of any person anywhere. Had completely forgotten that his brother had not gone with him.
And it is Cariel's voice that you hear come through the door being like, Del, are you alright? Even as you feel a hand come down on your shoulder. And Belial's voice whispers in your ear, small, thank you. And then there's just silence. Across town. No.
I want to hear more.
It's fine.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
fine. We're good. No, we're good.
Across town, in a casino.
Oh my god.
The whiplash.
I know. Have fun, guys.
Now back to all these
Oh,
zany
God.
kids at the casino with 2 zanes.
Oh my god.
Oh goodness. Yeah.
Only one of you had passed the perception check to see a
Uh-huh.
certain gentleman enter the casino.
Yep, sure did.
Yenna, the man that you watch walk in with quite a slink in his step looks very similar to Xanth, just a little bit older.
Huh? Yeah. Clocking that.
It's very much like Xanth's face has lost those lingering traits of youth, and you'd probably place this man firmly in his 20s.
Okay. Yeah, immediately looking for actual Xanth. To be like, what?
Roll perception.
13.
You do not see actual Xanth.
Oh.
Or, to put it more blindly, you do not see the disguise that Xanth had taken on.
Right. Okay. She's gonna get on the sending stone. And is gonna be, Xanth, what the fuck? Why do you look like that?
You all hear this.
That is-
said-
jumps.
I think Xanth looks very pretty. What are you talking about?
No, Xanth, that's a terrible disguise. That's just, the worst disguise ever.
What are you talking about? It looks. I thought it looked fine.
You look very handsome, but, for real, you need to change back to the lady.
What?
What do you mean, what?
I'm looking at Xanth right
Yeah,
now. This
I am the lady.
Xanth.
Oh.
Xanth's the lady.
Xanth, you have a brother?
What?
It's never brother. Why would you? Do you?
A guy just walked in and looks like almost exactly like you.
Oh, okay. We should probably go.
What the fuck?
I'm going to take a moment to interrupt here and say, Tink, you can also hear this. Please continue.
Oh no.
What the fuck? Why do we have to leave?
I'm serious. We should actually go, like, right now.
Do you know who this person is?
Just got in here.
Yeah, Yulie just got here.
That's okay. We can come back later.
Balthazar's voice comes over the sending stones being like, do you need me inside?
No, I need us all outside, okay?
Can I find alternate Xanth
Yeah, can I look? Can I look for him too?
now that
Roll me investigation because you know who you're looking for.
Do we get advantage because we're
I
I
got
get
a
advantage because it's my
22.
brother?
Yes, you do get advantage because it's your brother and you know that face.
Okay, 17.
Hey, we both rolled well.
Let's say, can I assist? Because if I know that it's just if it's someone who looks like Xanth.
Well, I already got advantage, so.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Are you looking as well, Monty?
I am. That was investigation, correct?
It was, yes.
Can someone help me with math? Oh wait. I got 23.
23?
Yeah, it's 15 plus 8, baby.
Yulie, Monty, you instantly pick this guy out of the crowd. Like,
Nice.
Yenna's right. There's a fucking like proto-Xanth right over there.
Yeah,
Dead
he looks
ringer.
like you're older.
Xanth, you are so panicked looking around that it actually takes you a good like 30 seconds after they've spotted your brother for you to see him.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Yep.
it's a what? So what's he doing?
He has entered the room and has started to make his way through the majority of the crowd towards what appears to be a door towards the back. And the longer that you watch, the more you realize that there are actually 5 other people with him
Okay.
who are making a show of being stealthy about following.
Do they have anything about them that is similar?
As in, do they look more like Xanth? Like, are you asking if they are more Xanth?
No, I'm not asking if there are 6 Xanths in the room. I'm asking if like if they seem like they are all part of like the same group, if they have any like if their clothing is similar at all, if they are all obviously like I don't know, an archetype of some kind.
Roll me. I'm gonna say roll me insight.
Okay. Nat 20.
Though they're all dressed differently, there's definitely a color theme going on.
Okay.
And beyond the color theme, you do notice that they all have what appears to be a certain set of tattoos. I would stress that Xanth's mimic does not,
Okay.
but all of these people have a small tattoo on the side of their neck that's 3 dots in a line.
Okay. I will write that down in my notebook.
Me
In
too.
game.
You okay there?
Oh, this has like been building up for a year and I don't know how to deal with it.
Xanthe, are you okay?
I really want to go. Like, we can talk about it later, but I really want to go.
Okay. And I'm gonna grab Xanth's hand and just sort of pull him out, like try to stealthily walk out of the space.
Xanth,
Uh-huh.
you hear a message in your head. Is that you, little bit?
Oh, he's not gonna reply. He's gonna try to sneak out. Wait, roll stealth.
You can roll stealth if you would like to, or you
Yeah.
can roll perception.
Can I do both?
I'll
You can
roll
do
stealth,
both.
you roll perception.
Okay.
Your stealth does not extend to Xanth.
Damn it.
Okay. Perception is 17, which is really good for me.
Uh-huh.
Oh man. And then stealth.
Any of you who would like to roll perception.
Oh, okay. My
So-
stealth is a 9. I have a +7.
You try to be stealthy about it, but like you're tripping over stuff and you're hitting the different tables and bumping into people as you're just trying to get out.
You said any of us can roll perception?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I
Cool.
rolled a 14 perception and 19 stealth.
Okay.
Natural
Monty,
20.
you are a shadow.
Yes.
Sorry, Yenna, was that a 20?
Nat 20, baby.
Baby.
Yulie, would you like to roll perception?
Yes. Dirty 20. Oh my god, I keep forgetting to write down my rolls.
It's okay. Yulie, Yenna, Monty, Zanthe. You see that one of the figures that was trailing the Zanthe mimic has stopped in the middle of the crowd. It's a woman in about her early 30s, wearing sunglasses and a hat indoors. She's looking straight at disguised Zanthe.
Do I recognize her?
Sorry, who's looking at disguised Xanth? Oh, like our Xanth in disguise.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Sorry.
this is getting a bit confusing.
Synth 2.
The Xanth that looks like older Xanth is at this point disappearing into the back room,
Right.
along with those who appeared to be following him. But this woman is still stood in the middle of the crowds, just looking straight at your Xanth.
How close is she?
She's about 30 feet away. Xanth, roll me perception.
Okay.
I'd like
That's a
55.
5.
You
Oh,
don't
5.
instantly
Yeah.
you don't instantly recognize her. Yulie, what was that?
Uh, this is like a casino, right? And there's like a show going on.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
there like are there like some cool like is there like a light show or anything happening? Like
Oh yeah, like on that floating stage, there's definitely lights and stuff happening. There's dancing lights above the crowd. Each table has like its own lantern.
I would like to conjure a mirror and I want to
Mhm.
shine a light right into that chick's eyes and give everybody an opportunity to like leave while she like can't see them basically is the idea.
Okay. You can definitely conjure the mirror, obviously. Are you trying to reflect
I'm trying to reflect one of the like bright lights in this
existing
room.
lights? Okay.
Yes.
For that, I would like a sleight of hand roll.
Okay. A 9.
With a 9, you manage to reflect the light, but it doesn't go in her eyes. It's kind of like somewhere on the top of the hat.
Oh, I tried, guys. I tried to be clever.
Is this gonna burn? Is this gonna burn a hole in the hat?
Yeah, I hope so. At
Make
the
it
very
some fun?
least.
You actually do see like she reaches up and like pulls down her hat as though she was getting a bit hot and fans herself with it.
Great.
I'm still holding Xanth's hand and just gonna continue like walking out with him.
Xanth, you receive
Mhm.
another message in the back of your head that's just like, I know it's you. Did you
Is
really think
it
that would hide you?
is it my brother? Or is it
It's
her?
not your brother, it is her.
Okay. Do I remember who this is? You can DM
The
it to me if
more
you want, but
the more that you hear her voice and as she's taken the hat off to fan herself, you recognize her voice. You recognize like the tumble of platinum hair that falls out from under the hat. This is your brother's right hand woman. She's incredibly dangerous.
Mhm.
She's incredibly skilled. And she's basically been one of the people who's raised you over the years.
Yep. Cool. Cool.
But you also know that while not a lot of your family, if you like, are skilled in magics, she has a little bit of inherent in her, but
Okay.
not enough to have ever been schooled.
Okay. I love to see it. Um, yeah, I'm gonna try to just ignore her and sneak out with Monty. So,
Give me a stealth roll.
okay. I already did earlier, so I feel like I should be honest about that because it was really low.
No, you did, but I'm gonna make you do another one because now she's stopped and seen you.
Okay.
It will be at disadvantage because she's looking right at you.
Okay. 14.
At disadvantage?
Yeah.
With a 14, luck of the draw, a group of people passes between you and her and breaks the eye contact that she'd been holding. And in that moment, Monty tugs you back at just the right timing that when those people pass, you're not there anymore.
Okay. Cool.
I have my arm around Xanth's like waist, and just sort of like pretending that it's like they're a couple heading home for an evening, and just sort of like very being, of course, because this is me, very awkward about the whole thing. But just sort of like taking the opportunity to just like to completely duck Xanth out of the way and hurry out to the door.
Are the rest of you following?
Yulie wouldn't want to, but
Yeah, Yenna wouldn't want to either. Yenna doesn't quite understand what's happening, and it's just like, okay.
yeah, I don't think
I'm
like
going to.
it's it's obvious that you guys are leaving, but I think Yulie's too much of a nosy bitch and wants to know what's going on in here.
I'm just like using the stone, like once we've stepped outside, to message the group and be like, "Get your asses out here right now."
You don't have to obey that.
Thank you.
Can I be persuasive with that?
Only if Yulie wants to be persuaded.
I mean, I like
Or can I be intimidating about that?
I mean,
Darling,
you
you
can't
can be
roll
as
against
intimidating.
players.
Exactly. You can be as intimidating or as persuasive as you like, but if Yulie wants to stay, Yulie will stay.
Yeah, I know.
Yulie will look at Yenna, I think, and see
Yenna's what?
how she's feeling.
Yenna's gonna shrug, and then like over the sending stone is like, isn't that this like this is probably why we're even here. You're the ones that wanted to do this.
And no, this is what it would be. So I think we should really go. Like, this is not a good idea.
I have never seen Xanth this freaked out before.
Okay. All right, but if we realize there's a reason to come back, we'll come back, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
What's the decision here, guys? Who's staying? Who's leaving?
Zanthe and Monty are fucking going.
Yeah, they already
Yeah,
left.
I know, they're gone.
I think as long as Yulie felt like she would get an opportunity to come back, she would go.
With that yawn.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. It is
That
just quite the
England time
unerrand.
zone, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yenna will leave if Yuna, if
There is a
Yulie
Una
is
in this game, so
Yeah.
I know. If Yulie actually leaves, she'll go, but she's letting it up to Yulie.
Okay, yeah. Yulie will take Yenna's hand then and walk out.
as you approach the door, Monty, Zanthe, you're already outside in the cold air, away from what you were fleeing. But Yenna, Yulie, as you approach the door, all of the lights go out. And silence descends. And that's where we're gonna leave it for the week.
Oh my god.
You just like us to
Oversending stone.
suffer.
Guys!
Guys.
Oh no, we have to stay in here. The lights.
The lights. I can't find the door.
I can't even find the door. It's. I might as well stay, I guess.
Thank you all at home so much for watching and sitting with us while we do stupid things stupidly. I hope that you all had fun. This has been Hellions of Carnocht, and we bid you good night with a wonderful thank you to our patrons, without whom we could do none of this. I just saluted you guys. You can't see it, but like I
We
did.
felt it.
I hope you did. Like, I send all of my love. You've been absolutely wonderful. If you like what you've seen tonight, please think about giving us a follow or a subscribe if you would like to support us. And if you're interested, we do have a Patreon with wonderful rewards, such as homebrew content, a spice tier, and even little written off screen lore and banter.
Sorry, my cat
just
decided
did-
now is the time to literally
Yes.
shred our curtains like a cartoon cat.
Go for it.
We just did a Zanthe and Monty one for the first time.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
Very
cool.
cute.
It's very cute.
It was very cute. It was very cute to watch it happen. But we will see you soon. See you next Monday. Keep rolling.
Same
Bye.
bat time, same bat channel.
Bye.
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 And now I'm gonna mute and say hello. It's Nick. I run the stream. No one can stop me. I'd just also like to thank our subscribers. We've gotten a bunch of Twitch subs from the stream, and you guys have been really awesome. And if you join the Discord, I am working on getting some of the Patreon rewards up for our Discord folks. Oh, captions are still. 1 second. Blech, I hope nothing private was said. But yeah, thank you all so much for hanging out and chilling with us every week. I'm gonna play you guys out with some music, find a stream for you guys to go to, and like Jess was saying, if you've enjoyed the stream, come hang out with us again sometime. All right, thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.